All right, welcome back to the third installment this week of Legends of Valcia, as we have ventured away from the ruins of Rakith, finally, after much arguing and some mind inception training on Lord Silverstar / Brig, getting Brig back and finding out that he can get us over the impassable mountains into Thakon. So we traveled for a couple days now and have come across a village of half-elves, which is really unique because they are pretty much never found. And there was a man dressed in black that killed a child, and we're about to find out what the heck's going on as we're at the edge of the village.
Pretty much covers it, I think. Pretty much covers it all. So you're just outside the village, and Harvick has taken a step into the outer ring of the village. Harvick, you step through with gusto and determination, and feel like you just took a step.
Yeah, I thought it was probably pretty safe, and standing outside being paranoid wasn't going to help us. But I also just noticed this whisper from the beard is itching, and I want to make this decision quickly instead of sitting here for 10 minutes and thinking about it, because we're in sort of a time-sensitive moment in the game. But my basic thought process, to outline it for you, goes like this. This feels like it's probably Spidey sense, right? That's the best I can go on from my little experience with this. And I don't know if it means that I need to hurry because there's danger nearby and I can go help someone, or if it means the complete opposite, which is you're making a terrible decision, stop doing the thing you're doing. I can't pick one of those, and I feel like...
Harbeck! Did you get mind controlled?
Nalos.
Do you need a Madam
I did
Web?
not get mind control.
Okay.
Which of these buildings did the guy go into?
Then I shoved past you.
And where are the dudes?
So the crowd of half-elves, I couldn't find appropriate tokens, so that box is around about 30 villagers, men, women, and children, all standing perfectly motionless, and they're facing towards this house.
And that's the house the guy went into?
Yep.
Because
Oh, I missed
they
it.
are all mesmerized by the guy.
Okay, gotcha. The red guy.
Is there, like, the kid, is he just splayed out on the ground in full view of walking into this village?
Yep.
Okay, so me trying to be like, we're adventurers, do you guys have any place to put us up for the night? Is not going to be super believable because there's a dead body bleeding blood onto the cobblestones.
Yep.
Okay, good. Then I need a different...
So, as seeing that you are...
Din is running to that house. P.S. I've decided to be unconcerned about half-elves that aren't moving.
So,
I'm going after the bad guy.
Tell me about this like garden area and these trees and stuff.
Okay, so the garden area is the big green swaths that have, like, what look to be fruits or vegetables growing in them, are exactly that. They're native fruits and vegetables that are growing. Basically, they're the produce that is obviously sustaining this population. The trees are all like non-decorative, they're actual fruit trees and so forth, also another source of food for the people. There's a round marble statue in the center of town around what you guess is like a bit of a meeting place, and there's a few stalls around the meeting place as well. The buildings are all wood with thatched roofs. There's smoke rising from a couple of the chimneys. As you get closer and you sort of get in front of the elves, you see that the elves are, like, weeping. Like, tears streaming down their face, but they are completely immobile.
Guys, they're playing Town of Salem, and they just voted for that kid. It's fine. It's fine.
You're a horrible person.
I will
I'm looking
grudgingly
for
gallop
a
on.
window
Tell me
on
about
the
the-
north side of that house.
Yeah. Tell me
I
about
may
the
or may
house,
not
is
have
there-
be connected
Okay.
right now, so
The houses don't have windows on the sides or the back, but they do have a single window on the front and a single door. The windows are glassed, so they do have glass in them. That particular house seems to have some curtains or a straw blind or something that's blocking the view into the inside of the house. It is one of the houses
So
that
the
does
only-
have smoke rising from the chimney.
the only way in or out is through the front door,
It appears to
or
be,
we
yes.
send Brig
Up to
down
the
the
front
chimney.
door.
That sound.
That's the fire is
You know
on,
what? Go
so
ahead.
That's not too bad.
That's a bad idea to send Brig down the chimney.
I'm going to talk
Okay,
to
so
the
I'm gonna-
person
As-
on this end of the rectangle. Can you speak?
I'm gonna very sneaky up to the door and peek inside.
As you sneak up to the door swings open, and the man strides out, turns his head, and looks directly at all of you. Make a will saving throw.
Oh, look at me. I'm not looking at him. I'm looking at this person I was talking to. That's not a will saving throw.
What's the distance on that?
Sorry?
Yeah,
What's the distance on that?
Can you see his face?
I might not be able to. I'm on a horse 45 feet away.
Second
You can see his
question:
face.
is it a charm
Okay.
effect?
I hope I wasn't
Is
paying
it a
attention.
charm effect?
Oh great, touch that.
A charm effect.
Thank God it's the right order.
Right, because
No.
I'm immune to charm, so I'm wondering if I need to roll or not roll.
You will need to roll this one, yeah.
Is it?
Is there any chance I wasn't looking because I was talking to this person in the crowd of villagers? Because my wisdom
The
saving throw was not
scary
good.
man's house had its door swing open violently.
Okay.
You looked.
Yeah, fair enough.
Let's be real here. You would have looked.
Oh dear.
Is it?
That's a wrong save.
Oh, I did the wrong one. Dang it.
Is it magic?
That's a good thing.
I saw red.
Is the effect magic?
Come on,
It is,
in your mouths. You can do it. That's better.
Well, I rolled in the right order, so it doesn't matter. But I totally have advantage. So.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. Unfortunately, a 20 doesn't save.
Natural 20.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to decide is whether a natural 20 will
I don't
let
think you can crit a saving throw. I don't know that. I don't think
I
5th
don't think you
edition
can.
has the 20 always wins and 1 always fails rule.
I don't
Outside
always
of
run with the
attacks.
20 always wins. Sorry?
I believe that is the 20 always hits,
Just
1 always
attacks.
misses is only true for attack rolls in 5th edition.
Yeah,
But still,
I think
I
that's how
rolled a
I've been
natural
playing it the
20.
whole campaign. I know, it's so sad that it was wasted on this. Okay, you all find yourself frozen in place. You want to move, but you can't. You're aware of your
Can we
surroundings.
talk?
You can't talk. You can't move any of the muscles in your face, arms, legs, body. The only thing you can move is your eyes.
Harbeck reaches out with his beard.
No.
I hope.
Hey, Arian rolled really well as well, but unfortunately not.
Oh,
Still not
you were
enough.
supposed to
At this
roll
point-
for Steed.
No, you won't have to roll for Steed. Steed
Thank
would like
goodness.
auto fail anyway. It's at this point, so you're all looking at him now, because that's how you got frozen, looking at him, and you can move your eyes, but you can't get him out of your field of vision. He's tall and slender, of elvish descent. You're not sure if he's an elf or half elf. If he's a full elf, he has a lot of human traits. If he's a half elf, he has a lot of elven traits. He kind of sort of sits in a really weird... Yeah, he's a 3/4 elf. Fully black robes, like black robes from right down to the ground, flowing. And he has a black hood, which is currently pulled back. I mentioned face paint. He had like this black face paint that you couldn't sort of really make out. You can roll a knowledge religion, if you would like. If you're trained in knowledge religion, or if you're Harbeck, who knows things. Harbeck, you recognize the symbol on his face. The symbol on his face is the... this is going to upset you. Symbol on his face is of the god Treeth. Treeth is an old god, a god from an old pantheon, the old pantheon. Treeth is the god. He is the god of senseless murder, of death and destruction. But there's something else that you notice as well. His tattoo is glimmering slightly, shifting under the skin. And he walks out.
Like, what's happening here?
And he smiles slightly as he looks over at you.
I'm going to focus on my uncomfortably warm tattoo. And I want to like see if in my paralyzed state I can somehow make it shift.
I'm trying to remember what it felt like the time I punched that thing, and the beard did and I'm trying to get that back. It's time. Help me out. Power it up. I need.
Yeah, so I'm trying to
Become a Super Saiyan.
to make the tattoo, which has moved before, move from its position on my back, like down onto my arms and into view on my hands or something, like to see if I can make the tattoo respond to me in a way that will let me murder this guy in his face. It will not be senseless. It will be purposeful and needed.
The bad guy, as they tend to do, starts to monologue.
Oh.
That gives us time to wiggle. Move your big toe.
So what do we have here? A few interlopers charging in to save these townsfolk. How admirable. Well, I suppose you'll have to suffer the same fate as them, chance willing. At this point, Harbeck, you recognize the tattoo. Brig, you also recognize the tattoo because you rolled a 21. Brig, your alignment is...
Neutral good.
I forget, I'm checking. Neutral good.
Neutral good.
Harbeck, you can make another wisdom saving throw.
I hope I do a better job than the first time.
I would make another wisdom saving throw, but even if I roll a 20, it doesn't matter.
Oh, I did a worse job. No, did I do the same job as the first time?
You did. I think you did the exact same job.
Oh, dice. Rude.
You there. The fat one.
If I could move, I would
Tell
love
me.
to just nod and not be offended by that.
Harvick goes, what?
Tell me, what are you doing here? And you find yourself suddenly able to speak.
Standing very still for the moment, but punching you in the face soon, I hope.
You don't understand the power you've come up against, do you? Pitiful mortals. You're all the same.
No, we're not.
Really? He pulls out a dice carved from some kind of bone and turns to a little table beside the house, and he grabs the dice and throws it onto the table, looks at it, and starts to walk the line of elves, counting as he goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And he takes one of the half-elven men out of the lineup, kneels him on the ground, and opens his throat from left to right.
Can I still talk?
You see, you can still talk. Yes.
All right. Then as he starts pulling the guy out of the line, why don't you try that on me? I know your dice didn't pick me, but come over here, you little sissy. Are you too afraid?
Oh.
You're afraid of someone who can't even
1
move.
second.
Pathetic.
You think it's fear? I don't kill who I choose.
You didn't
I'll
choose,
leave
you
that
rolled
up
the
to chance.
dice. You didn't choose a thing,
Exactly.
you chicken. The dice chose. You can't even pick for yourself.
Well, let's see what the Hand of Fate has to say now, as he picks the dice up again and rolls it.
Ooh, I hope I'm number 17. You sissy, listening to your dice instead of yourself.
He starts to count down the line. 1, 2,
Obey your precious dice.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He reaches the end of the front line of the elves, looks back at the dice, waves his hand slightly in a Jedi Knight-esque manner.
You pretend to listen to the dice and then you cheat. What are you?
10. Looks like you're next. He draws his blade back, preparing to strike at Harbeck.
I kick Steed
I don't think you can.
to like move.
You can't
I'll
move.
do like a little, like a you know how you like kick with the inside of your foot to like move forward. Trying to explain horse movements.
Yeah, but if you can't
I
move a
don't think you
single
can
muscle,
move at
you
all.
can't signal the horse.
Gagintius finds himself freed of the control. So Gagintius, what were you doing?
No. It's convenient.
I'm trying to like get Steed to move closer to Harvick so that I can do the thing.
Yeah, you can leap forward in front of Harbeck easily on the back of Steed.
All right.
Alright, so what are you doing?
I'm gonna try and counter the blade with my blade. Like, at a, just, that critical moment where someo's, like, haha, not so fast. That thing.
Okay.
Thwarted.
Do I have to roll,
Make an attack roll.
attack roll? Yeah. Oh, yes!
Natural 20. Harvick, as you see the blade descend towards your throat, because it's descending, he's taller than you, as it descends down towards your throat, all of a sudden you find Gergintius in between you and the man in black. And he expertly and deftly, like you've never seen him do with his sword, turns away the blade just before it strikes you. And the man in black looks shocked and leaps backwards. And Harbeck, you feel your beard start to glow.
Hang on, dude. You can't kill my friend, even though they're usually serial killers, but they're in the right this time. I guess it takes a serial killer to stop another one. Am I a serial killer now? Harbeck, am I a serial killer now?
Let's save the philosophical discussions for after the fight.
Does it take one to know one? Oh my god.
As the blade gets turned aside and the man looks shocked and loses his concentration slightly, each of you feels the power that he held over you slipping. And you find yourself able to move. It's difficult. It takes a lot of effort. But if each of you finds yourself able to move, except for Tabron, who is still stuck firmly in place.
Shall we push
what would you like to do?
button? Is that where we're at?
You can do, but you can all just take an action because you have surprise.
Oh.
Alright.
Surprise!
But there's an order to that, right?
Hmm?
Oh, never mind. There's
Just
no order.
each of you tell me what you want to do, and we'll just go from there. And then we'll roll initiative.
I'll go on the offensive, I guess. Like,
Sorry, when I said everyone gets an action, I meant everyone but you, because you just took your action.
Okay, just kidding.
Yep.
I'll roll initiative.
So, Harbeck, Din, and Brig, you guys find yourself able to move all of a sudden.
I'm going to shoot him when Roll20 sorts its life out here.
Okay.
I'm very sad about it.
Also, question.
Harbeck
That's
is-
one attack, right? I know what you're doing.
Depending on how Super Saiyan I just went, the dark.
No,
Greek
you're just Brig. You're just Brig.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Then the dice vomit will be slightly lessened.
Let me jump in there first, because if I land what I'm doing, your lives will all be easier. So let me go. Just laughing. I think laughing, like that sort of laugh you do when you're afraid and you don't want anyone to know that you were afraid. That laugh, like when you take somebody to the haunted house. There are two types of people who go to haunted houses. There are the kind who pretend the whole thing's so ridiculous and they're not afraid, and there are the kind who laugh the whole time and they're not afraid. That laugh.
Yeah.
Harbeck lunges forward and says, "Mere mortals, eh?" And begins the pummeling. On this guy's face, we're just gonna give him all of the punches.
Solid work.
Did you just punch me?
No. Just missed a little. It's okay. Oh, come on, Harbeck. Come on, buddy. You gotta land one of these. That one might get through.
That one will probably do it.
Please? Harvick, you punch directly where he is, and your fist passes through him like he's a shadow. And he's all of a sudden next to you.
Wait, but I oh, okay. My punches are magic damage, if that matters.
I know.
Okay.
I know.
Yep. Good.
I know. This is something else.
Yeah. Well, I think I've got one more in me. Get him. Get him. That's the plan. The plan is get him.
No, you don't get him. You do look like you're going to hit him once again, but it's like he's not there. It's like he's an apparition. He just shifts location instantaneously. Bree, what are you doing?
Having seen that, Rig is going to move over a little closer to what's happening here and say, "Stand still for a moment." That was not what I meant. This is what I meant.
Suggestion. The target pursues the suggested course of action to the best of its ability until either the action is completed or the spell ends. Okay, DC 16 saving throw.
When I say for a moment, I'm not actually going to say for a moment. I will give him a more specific command than that. I'd like you to stand still until I tell you can move again.
Okay. I passed the save.
Oh,
with a 20. And finally, Din.
Okay.
Rude. This guy's rude.
I'm gonna shoot him
Dude,
one time.
Shoot an area. Because shooting
And
him
then
doesn't
I'm
work.
gonna... Wolfie Poo is also gonna go get him.
Okay. The arrow passes straight through him and crashes into the house behind Gigantius and Harvick. And the wolf also misses. Before we roll initiative and move into the actual combat, the man in black says, "Well, that's an interesting development." Takes his blade, slices the air vertically from just above his ankles until above his head in one flourish, and you see a tear open up, and through the tear you glimpse a swirl of color and nonsensical strangeness, and a moment later he steps through and the tear closes. And when the tear closes, Tabarin, you find yourself completely free and able to move, and all of the elves collapse, exhausted. Half-elves. Sorry. My bad. That was a bit racist.
Nobody can tell
What?
the difference.
Harvick, about taunting people who are much stronger than us, or I guess some people who can kill us. Did you know I was going to save you? Did you have a plan?
Well, the only muscle I could move with was my mouth, and I used it to save one of these villagers' lives. There wasn't much thought to it other than that.
That's a
How's
very
that for a serial killer?
serial killer reasoning.
Right, I don't know why
But
you've called us serial
maybe
killers.
Maybe that means that if I understand your reasoning, I am now a serial killer.
Gigantius.
Wait, what?
Gigantius, I'd like to make a better first impression than this on these townspeople, if you wouldn't mind. Can we keep this conversation for later?
I mean, they're probably really grateful that we just stopped that dude from killing more people.
Until you told him that we're
I
serial
assumed-
killers. Can we just not
I assumed
do that anymore?
I assumed from the beginning that was
okay.
a joke. It's run its course.
I'm not entirely convinced yet.
I just walked up to the nearest villager to help them up.
I'm just
The
going to sit down.
kind one.
I'm just going to sit down and cry with them. Specifically, I assume that one of them is the parent of that child that was killed.
There is a woman
And
who
is-
seems to be meekly crawling towards the fallen corpse.
Yeah, I'm just going to go cry with her.
And probably of this dude that was killed. Probably. There are a lot of very sad people here right now.
Most of the villagers are lying almost motionless, sobbing maybe, but any kind of exertion just seems to take too much effort. They can't move.
Yeah, who knows how long they've been
How long was he
standing.
They've been
holding you?
stuck like that for days.
Yeah.
Do they look emaciated? Like, have they eaten?
It's kind of hard to tell when they're all in crumpled piles on the ground. They don't look well.
Okay.
Harbeck, you need to cook things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
think we
why I
should
was
get
gonna
them moved
ask.
to more comfortable positions first. Perhaps if they can indicate
I think
which
you and
houses
Gergintia should make
are theirs.
food.
Okay.
Well,
You and Gergintius make food, and Brig and I will help them.
Okay.
Let's bust
Water
out the
before
barbecue.
food.
Is this bigger building like an inn that I can go
Yeah,
appropriate
it's
the
a,
kitchen?
it's a meeting hall. Yeah, it's a meeting hall, an eating hall. It's like a communal area. You could definitely cook in there. There's a big fire pit under the rearmost chimney. So yeah.
Maybe,
Let's move these guys in here. There.
Harbeck, do you have beer?
Aye, we'll get them well taken care of. Harbeck goes into the meeting hall and starts prepping all the food.
Oh, that is not the meeting hall.
And probably...
Let's just delete this.
How close are we to harvest? Like, can I use their garden to supplement our trail rations?
We asked.
There's food stores
There's
in
probably
town. I'm
food
sure
in the
they
inn.
wouldn't mind you using them.
Okay. Yeah, we'll make a big old traditional dwarven morning feast. Like MOUR
Harbeck, we should probably make soup,
feast.
I think.
Perfect.
Soup is probably a good idea.
Food. Whatever food.
Right. After they get their stomachs
and-
back on easy-to-eat soup, then they can eat a traditional
Yeah.
dwarven morning feast.
Aye.
Good, you make the
so
soup.
Gergintius and Harbeck are inside cooking, making soup. Tabern, Din, what are you guys doing?
I'm
Breeze?
sort of triaging the group, trying to see who looks the worst for wear and trying to address their needs first.
Yeah, helping
Okay.
people like up into a somewhat more comfortable sitting position and assessing like how starved they are and
Talking to them if they have any other injuries.
They're all
being-
pretty much
being
non-communicative.
being generally very quiet and comforting as much as is possible. At one
Okay.
point, I like as Din and I pass in a voice that is like quiet but just loud enough that I'm sure everyone hears. I say, "I will find him, and he will die screaming."
Tabern, what are you doing?
Seeing that things are mostly being taken care of, not really sure what to do in this situation. Takes a look at the statue in the center of town. Just to see what it is. Anything
Okay.
on it.
Do you read Elven?
I do not.
You do not
Have one language
Okay.
known.
All right. There are two inscriptions that run parallel around the center of the sphere, which is on a pillar. And the inscription that's written in common says, "We will no longer be downtrodden." And then there's a second inscription in Elven, which you can't read. It takes some time, but you manage to get everybody sort of sat up and give them some water, feed them some soup. Nobody's talking, like nobody's said a word since they were released from whatever was holding them. But they are starting to move around of their own accord. Most of them are finding a place to curl up and sleep or returning to their homes and sleeping. But they look very worse for wear.
Are there any other children among them?
Yeah, there's probably a third of the total population is kids.
So I'm gonna go from like kid to kid with Binks, my therapy ferret.
Okay.
And you know, like Binks will do. I can communicate with him a little bit, and he has some experience dealing with traumatically affected people. Anyway, so he'll like do funny little things and snuggle up on the kids' faces and try to, like, the kids will be the ones that are most likely to recover from this quickest, I think.
Yep.
Kids tend to be resilient, so I'm going to start with them and see if I can get them a little bit cheered up and have that rub off on the rest of the
I'm going
family.
to follow him from adult to adult with Boozy, the therapy-laden mule.
Drown your sorrows.
That sounds appropriate. Okay. Offering tasty beverages to anybody who
Yeah, and I mean, if they've all gone home
would
to
like
sleep,
them.
like, we'll go, and if anybody's awake and wants dinner, we'll serve them, and if they are asleep, we will leave something next to their bed that they can eat when they wake up. Like, just get everybody set for food so they don't have to
Okay.
worry about it in their exhausted state.
You work well into the early evening.
As soon as it
Trying
starts to
to-
get dark, I'm just making a big, fun, warm, happy, safe-looking fire in the middle of town. Like, big old,
Okay.
party bonfire.
Last night light because
No.
the darkness is terrifying.
No
does
dark and
anyone
scary
look
tonight.
They're in charge. Like, is there someone that looks considerably like older or better dressed, or?
Nothing like that. These are all young. I mean, they're elves, or half elves at least, so they're long-lived. It's hard to gauge their age. But there's
Little
nobody who looks
ageless.
old and wizened. And they're all wearing very simple clothes.
So as people start filtering off and things die down a little bit, and we're, I feel like we've done what we can. I'm gonna go over to Tabarin at the statue, and I will translate the inscription for him.
Okay, so the common was, "We will not be downtrodden," and the elven was, "We will not be second class."
Aww. They came out here to be all togethery, and then they just got their throats open. It's like awful. Yeah.
So
I assume that everybody is too exhausted to deal with the recently deceased, so I will take up that task next.
Okay.
Maybe find the house that is now empty because the owner was just killed, and get some bed sheets to wrap their bodies in or something. I'll do what I can to prepare them in a respectful way.
Okay. Is there anything anyone else wants to do, or during the rest of the night before everyone filters off, or are you happy that you've done all that you can and the party can return to being a party?
Well, I was about to ask, like, the party, I guess. Do we feel like... I mean, yeah, we're not going to stay here forever, but it's pretty clear that that dude can, like, come here and there as he wants, just by, like, I guess slicing open a piece of air or something and walking through it.
I think that was new to him.
It was?
I don't think he'd ever done that before. Based on what he said right before he did it,
No, I think
there
he
was something...
That's when he said, well, that was new.
I think, well, that was new was him getting attacked. But, I mean, we can interpret that as we will.
Either way, I find it unlikely he'd be returning here. The god to which he devotes himself is a god of chaos and senseless slaughter. It seems unlikely he'd target this group in particular, though I guess I can't say that definitively. There are many people in the world for him to slaughter senselessly. Coming back to this area specifically seems...
I'd feel better if we leave after we get some answers. Maybe the villagers know something, or even like a shortcut, or I don't even know. But I mean, we should at least hear their voices and make sure everything's okay.
Absolutely. I've got lots of questions. I want to make sure that there is as safe and settled as we can before we leave.
Do you need a head
What
with
was
the
that?
graves?
Din?
I think that I assume these are all like young people that have been here for less than a couple of years. I assume that there is not a graveyard yet. So
No, there is no graveyard.
so I'm not sure what their customs would be, and I'll pass that along to big interest. I think it may be best to find out how they would like to deal with their dead. I'm just trying to...
I guess
to
we
make
can
them
just
as-
like wrap them up and prepare them like you've been doing.
put them at peace while we wait to find out what's happening.
Harpic can make embalming, stuff.
I got the impression that whoever that was likely found the chaotic evil Ogdrast, the Ogdrast of wanton slaughter, assuming that there is such a thing.
Is that why Harbic's spear ditched? Oh, but that was a while ago.
Right.
It
I
was
think
as we got closer to him.
they may have been reacting. I'm surprised. I need to get some of this power unlocked clearly, as unfortunately it seems that we have at least one enemy who is playing the same game we are, which is absolutely terrifying. I was kind of hoping we were just first to the party and could avoid that, which was maybe a foolish hope.
Yeah. I'm surprised that did anybody even catch that he was an elf?
It looked,
Almost,
it looked
maybe?
elfier than these half-elves, but it didn't look particularly... I don't know. I don't know from elves, to be fair.
So, even legends of the Ogdrast have been somewhat difficult to come across. So it's unusual that anyone would... That I don't think there are many people in the world that know enough about them to be looking.
Right.
Some of the elves of Fakon, I assume...
He seems to have had a bit of practice with his, which, what if, Brig, do you remember one time when we meditated and we shared a vision? perhaps we ought to try you and Din and I to enter that state again and see if we can unlock some of what this is. I want to be ready the next time we meet him.
Yeah, it may. You
I
may
have
a
some
point.
water from the pool at the water in Flagra,
That could be helpful.
if that was connected to your meditation.
I'm also curious about the itching and burning. Do you think when we felt that previously, it has something to do with the book? Like, is it proximity to one of these unaffiliated powers that's triggering that, or?
I don't know. I assume, based on this experience, that proximity to an enemy is a trigger, but I don't. It wasn't consistent near the book.
Right. And the sample size is relatively small. It's difficult to determine exactly what it is. It was much stronger here though, right? For you also?
Aye, incredibly strong.
Yeah, sensation was unpleasant.
The character was unpleasant as well. It is difficult to have nothing to do. If we lose a life, an innocent, while we're trying our best, I can talk myself through that. Standing still and watching was terrible.
Harbeck?
I will find him, and he will die.
Yes, Din.
Can you make a beer that will make us live for centuries?
That's a good idea. I should start trying.
Is there something specific then?
When all this
Some
was
reason?
going
I'm worried
down,
about that now.
you all seemed to be able to move, yet I was still stuck.
And
I believe he
to some extent, it
released
makes sense.
my mouth when he spoke to me, which let me taunt him and not save anyone. And then Girgintius broke his concentration, and that was the moment I felt
I have a good reason for that.
him
The
let me
book
go.
did it.
The book did it.
Yeah. Which, I guess that was a nice thing. I'm gonna have to rethink some things. At least he saved, he let me save your life, so I have to not call him a jerk anymore. Yeah, that's how I moved. The book said he'll, save you, basically.
Oh,
Well, so it spoke to you.
Yeah. I don't know how it gave me power to move. But I didn't even know the book could do that. Also, that guy. We get a feeling that if we're assuming that he has the evil Oak thrust, does that mean he works for the other guy, the evil god guy that we're trying to stop?
that's hard to say.
I find it somewhat doubtful that he works for anyone. I mean, I don't know much about the god whose symbol he bore, but alliances don't. From what I do know, it doesn't seem like alliances would be high on his list. Is too unpredictable for that.
I'd almost.
We can't go after him right now, Brieg.
I'd almost.
We
prefer
wouldn't even know where to look.
if he was in an alliance, because then he'd be predictable. It's just nerve-wracking that there's no way to know where we can go to stop him.
Yeah, I understand some of the logistical reasons why we can't go after him, but what is it that you're talking about, Tim?
Because he can control his god spark, and we don't know how to control ours yet. And my mother said that it takes centuries. So we either need to live for centuries or find the maker, but we should not go after him until we figured that part out.
Wait, the who?
The maker.
The what?
Your mother said the maker.
The maker.
Yes?
Right,
Do you know who that is?
specific
Do you know where
name,
to
like
find
with
it?
a capital M. Yeah.
Well, she didn't spell it, she just
Well, I mean-
said it.
So the maker is more like a title than like a description. Is that
I'd
the
call
sense
it a
you got?
name. If I were
That,
when
like
perhaps.
with
at
a capital M.
at the monastery when I was but a wee brewer's assistant, we used to, in hushed tones, pass legends of the maker. I don't know that there's anything written down anywhere. And I don't have a lot of details. But having a source like Din's mother mention the maker lends a lot of credence to the legends, and I would like to believe he's real. I would like to
So
have a
maker-
conversation with him or two.
Make
Yes, because he can
meaning
teach us how to use our god sparks.
maker meaning the person that fabricated the oak trust.
And maybe I hadn't heard that legend.
I didn't ask.
Right, maker as in he makes things, and can make
you.
things happen. He's like, it's hard to describe. The legends describe feats that you could not attribute to the magic we're familiar with.
But do the legends say where he lives?
No, unfortunately. I don't have a lot of details. Did your mother not give any hints?
She said that nobody knows how to find him,
Well,
which was not very helpful of her.
Right. You need to talk to
So
him. Nobody
I have-
knows how to find him. I wonder if...
Or we can live for centuries, which might be easier because you make a lot of beers.
Right, maybe we search for the maker for centuries, and then somewhere in the middle we get our power unlocked before that guy cuts us in half, which seems quite capable of doing.
Maybe
I'm
he
not
lives
human.
in the pretty
I
dream
don't live
place.
that long. I mean,
That's why we need the beer.
but can beer do that?
Well, not yet, but I'm learning
To a-
these things
He
all the
hasn't
time.
made it yet. I didn't know it could turn Lord Silverstar back into Brieg, but it did that.
Right.
perhaps.
Am I going to be the longest human that's ever lived?
Mayhaps.
That would be me.
Well, I'm human born on this, human of this universe.
Well played, Cameron. Well played.
My bad, but you know what I mean. Human from
Technically, you
here.
already died, so I think the answer is no either way.
I have a
True.
thought about finding the maker. We do have, not in the like meet your maker context, which a couple of us have also tried to do already. But back to
Guilty.
character. We have a source of mysterious power who is capable of granting wishes, for whom we are in the act of doing favor. Perhaps if we accomplish that goal, the Felagor, I mean, no idea about the limits of his power, but wishes can do incredible things. Perhaps he can
The
do
best
something.
plan is to incur another debt to the Felagor, because the first one was so easy to pay off.
So,
I mean, are we doing
Well, maybe,
that now?
maybe when we save his mate will be really grateful and
Right.
grant us
So
a wish of great
I'm thinking
fullness.
I'm thinking not of incurring another debt, but rather that the payback for the original debt may be a bit more
We might get some change.
maybe a bit hefty.
Maybe we're paying 50 gold for an apple.
What are you talking about?
Perhaps-
Reviving
perhaps
an
that'll be
NPC ferret is definitely worth venturing into the most dangerous realm in the kingdom and stealing a magical creature from
So,
the
like,
king of the most powerful people in the world. Yes.
Yeah.
Super
I'm thinking.
important.
This is mentioned in
I feel like the karma is equal.
Super important to Brieg.
Right.
However,
However,
I still feel
And,
like maybe
and let us not forget
a little bit-
chat.
I feel like maybe it's not a like the punishment is a little bit more than the crime, as it were. So maybe he'll feel like he can help us out with some stuff, and I don't know if that will give us any maker access. Let's really try.
Okay, so
It's what we're doing anyway,
I mean-
right? So
I mean,
as long
I
as we
think
have
that your idea is sound, but I'm just going to throw out that if we have any leftover karma from this good deed we're about to do, I'm not sure letting us talk to the maker is going to be a cheap enough request to fit into whatever
maybe just
karma we
just
have earned.
find him
So
for
we
us.
incur some
Well,
debt, we pay it off too much, then we incur too much debt again, and then we pay it off. So it'll be a nice little cycle. We'll have something to do for the rest of our lives. It'll be great.
I have an idea that may not have something to do with. I mean, we're talking about wishes, but isn't the typical way to talk to a higher being prayer? Don't we have to find
Yes.
maybe a priest or
My it didn't sound to me like the Maker is a deity in the typical sense.
No,
I-
no
perhaps
sort of
Harbit can
deity.
speak to
In
that.
fact, the legends kind of pegged him as a mortal, but not. That's not the right word because it seems beyond being capable of dying. But definitely not deity, not magical even, perhaps.
Right.
Sort
So
of.
just
I don't. It's
It's a guy.
right. Hard to explain.
right? I'm my bad. I'm just not very good at knowing all the gods and whatnot. I just assumed he was one of them.
Right, he definitely sounds like one when first you hear about him.
Yeah.
But he's also definitely not. If the
Also,
legends are
prayer has
correct.
prayer has proved to be a unusual experience every time I've tried it so far.
Unusual and unpredictable.
I usually feel like I'm sort of talking to myself.
Wait, are you the maker? Never mind. That's a dumb question.
He is many people, but he is not the maker. I'm sorry, Brieg. You know I worship you.
Or,
You know I do. And if the maker were a god, I'd believe he was you.
maybe he's being the humble.
I really-
No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean.
I thought that we had discussed this and gotten over it when your beard started to glow.
Right, now we worship each other.
Maker
It's a
were a
mutual
god.
sort of meeting of equals. Now, being equal to Brieg, I don't know if I dare say such blasphemous words. That getting a bit
You have to
getting a
excommunicate
bit
yourself
cocky
from
here
your own church.
after that guy didn't disembowel me.
I think the party requires some time to mull over the events of this week's session and everything that's happened, and make some decisions on what they want to do next. And unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on whether you look at timing or the fact that we have to stop, we're out of time for tonight. So let's do a hard YouTube cut. If you're watching on Twitch, we'll be back to chat to you in just a minute. If you're watching on YouTube, we stream this live on Twitch every Tuesday at the moment, starting at 9 p.m. Mountain Time. So you should head on over to twitch.tv/LlamaChomp to check it out live. You can be part of the live Twitch chat if you want. But for now, thanks for watching on YouTube, and we'll be back with some more episodes in a week or two.
Little teaser for the next episode. I predict we spend at least the first hour talking to half-elves and perhaps doing some gardening.
Yay! Thrilling Dungeons and Dandelions.
Judging by how the first hour of most of our sessions go, sorry about that prediction.
Something about that. Alright guys, if you're watching on YouTube, the next episodes will be up sometime soon. If you're watching on Twitch, we'll be back in a minute. YouTube, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.